President Moon reaffirmed his resolve to hold a national referendum on constitutional amendment concurrently with the June local elections. The Liberal leader will submit a proposal of his own if the legislature fails to draw up a bill. Moon Geon-young has the latest from the nation's top office.
It's essentially President Moon Jae-in's ultimatum to Parliament. Come up with your own proposal for a constitutional amendment, or the South Korean president will exercise his right to table a motion himself. President Moon Jae-in was briefed on the outline of the first constitutional amendment in more than 3 decades by a special advisory committee, which had been tasked with coming up with a draft copy nearly 2 months ago after President Moon decided he needed a plan B in case the legislature failed to reach a consensus and craft a constitutional amendment bill in time. The South Korean president took the opportunity to reiterate his resolve to hold a national referendum on constitutional revision concurrently with local elections scheduled for June.
다시 한번 강조드리고 싶습니다. 6월 지방선거와 개헌 동시투표는 대국민 약속이자 다시 찾아오기 힘든 기회이며 또 국민 세금을 아끼는 길이기도 합니다.
President Moon also noted it was a campaign pledge shared by all presidential candidates from all political parties in the elections last May.
저는 대통령으로서 국민과의 약속을 실천해 나가겠습니다. 대통령의 개헌안을 조기에 확정하여 국회와 협의하고 국회의 개헌 발의를 촉구할 것입니다.
The keystone of the constitutional reform is to revise the single-term presidential system and voting procedure as written in the 1987 Constitution to a 4-year, 2-term presidency, as well as increase autonomy for local governments, among others. Still, President Moon said he's willing to withdraw his proposal should the lawmakers draw up its own in time, encouraging the parliament that they've still got time, that as long as they have the willingness to do so, they would surely be able to find common ground on at least certain issues.
이 마지막 계기마저 놓친다면 대통령은 불가피하게 헌법이 부여한 개헌 발의권을 행사할 수밖에 없다고 생각합니다.
The Presidential Blue House says they'll build on the draft presented by the advisory committee and craft a final proposal to be submitted by next Wednesday, as that will guarantee Parliament the required 60-day deliberation period. Moon Geon-young, Arirang News, The Blue House.